Hello, today I'm going to talk about DB migration. So I will talk about relational databases, which you can meet quite often, and the migration of relational databases in certain cases can be quite tricky. So in a simple case, you would have a database that has not much data, so it uses not so much storage, and this DB is not under high load, then it might be straightforward. You make a backup, and during maintenance window, you just move your backup to a new location, and then restore it in your new DB. After it, you switch your applications to work with a new DB, and you're done. The important part is that during this process of making a backup, moving it to your new location, and restoration, you should stop your application, because you cannot write in your old database just for the reason that you would lose transactions that have been written. So this might be easy if the DB is small enough and you have a large enough maintenance window. But in certain cases, it's not feasible. Why? Because first of all, your application might run 24/7. You might have no possibility to stop the application for a certain time. Also, even if you have maintenance window, if your DB is large, then backup and restore process can take hours. It can be larger than your maintenance window. And another potential issue is that if your DB is large, your backup is large, and you move to a different location which is far away from your original one, for example, to a different region, then also the process of moving the backup, moving your data might take some time, over the network, I mean. To cope with it, you can use another approach. So the first approach was backup and restore, and another approach is replication and cutover. The idea behind is that you establish network connectivity between the networks where your two DBs reside. So the old one and the new one. And after you have this connectivity, you start the replication process. So you replicate from your master DB to your replica. So it would be read replica in this case, your new DB. It would be read replica of a master DB. You will need to keep an eye on the replication process, so it goes 100%, so all the data is in sync between two DBs. If your master DB, old DB, is under high load, then maybe your new DB would have some lag, for example, but this lag should not be too high. So there are different settings how you can manage the speed, the latency between these two DBs, the time of replication, and usually you can achieve that this lag is not high, so it's in terms of seconds. However, if your application has maintenance window, during maintenance window you can just stop writing to your old DB, wait until there is no lag, until lag goes to 0, and cut over. And if your application runs 24/7, you would need to do the same thing, but you would have a small downtime. You would have write downtime. Now, the read operations would be still available, but when you stop writing on your master DB until you cut over and switch to a new DB, you would have write downtime, which is acceptable usually, because it's usually in terms of seconds, maybe half a minute or so in practice. Another thing to mention is that cloud managed services such as RDS, they also have the approach of creating read replica and then promoting it, which is pretty much the same replication cutover process, just made by cloud providers. The thing is that in this process there is one one issue that, for example, in case of AWS, if you go with, for example, MySQL, I'm not talking about Aurora. Yes, if it's just classical relational database, the promotion of DB can take time, and during promotion process it needs to be restarted. This restart, if the DB is large, can take multiple minutes, which might be an issue. So, however, if you have this option, if you have maintenance window of, say, half an hour, then this is also a good thing, a good way to go forward. Okay, to sum up, you have mainly two approaches to migrate your DB. The first approach is to make a backup and restore it in your new location. But this approach requires some quite long downtime, especially in case your DBs are large. And the second approach that allows you to have a very short write-only downtime is the replication and cutover approach. When you create a replication, you establish connectivity between your two DBs, you create replication, go in replication, and then you cut over, you stop writing to your old DB and cut over at this moment and switch to a new DB. That's it for today, and thanks for listening. Bye bye.